let's go ahead and talk about um let's do watchOS. watchOS 9 is pretty simple and straightforward. Anything that caught your eye on watchOS?
Um, Not really, really. Probably the thing that probably has nothing to do with a watch is the fact that your iPhone is doing a better job of giving you activity, um, tracking your activity. When before, the only way you could do that is via the watch with the accelerometers and all of the what do you call those things? Measurements that your Apple Watch can take, your heart rate, your movement, your speed, your distance. They're moving some of that into iPhone. So if you don't have an iWatch, you'll get steps, you'll get basic things, you'll get distance. It'll track some of those things. So I thought that was cool to where they're like, all right, well, we know everybody ain't got a watch, not yet anyway.
Right.
So you still can track a little bit of activity off of the Apple Watch. Other than that, I don't know if this was part of Apple Watch or part of watchOS, but and maybe we missed it, but the ability to track your medication. So if you're taking
That's
specific medication,
watchOS.
that is
Yep.
watchOS. Okay, so if you're
Yep.
taking different types of medication, you can input that information in and get like reminders of when you need to take your medication, and if the medication that you're taking may cause any sort of issues with some of the other medication that you're taking. So it just makes it a one stop shop, or your watch gives you just another place to where you can manage things as it relates to your health. Not only
Right.
can it track your heart rate, not only that can it track, your oxygen, blood level, blood oxygen level. You can also track your medications. So that's just cool to be able to add that in there because that'll come in handy for a lot of people. I'm not on a lot of medications, but I'm pretty sure the people who are taking medications, being able to have that information there, set it up in the health app and have that show up on your watch is pretty cool.
Yeah, for watchOS 9, for Apple Watch, I'm more concerned about new hardware because I want a new Apple Watch, and the last I think one was Series 7. It wasn't a huge change from the Series 6, but with that being said, again, the medications thing kind of stood out to me because it can remind you when to take them. You can scan the label so you don't have to necessarily type in stuff. Well, and if you do type in, it has like predictive text. So if you start typing in the name of a medication, it'll kind of fill it out for you. Or again, like I said, you can scan the label. It does alert for any types of concerns or interactions. And you can also, I think, which is really helpful, especially for people who take a lot of medications or maybe some of your older um, parents, grandparents, or even there are a lot of kids who are, who are, what is it, diabetic, or have those type of issues. You can share health data with people that you select, and it kind of gives them a track of, what you're taking, what you're doing as well. And I think probably in emergency type situations, or just for general knowledge, if you want to make sure that a person is making sure that they're taking their medications and being helpful. One of the other things I saw, and I just saw it when I went to get the link to put in the show notes, there's a new haptic feature for watchOS that allows you to do like a double pinch. And doing that double pinch, you can start a workout with it or take a photo. I thought that was pretty neat. I always like the haptics that come along with this stuff because it's kind of like a little shortcut that you don't necessarily have to interact directly
I
with
mean, like the
the
gestures.
device. Yeah, the gestures. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of haptics, iOS 16, the keyboard is going to get haptic feedback, and basically what that is, it when you press the button on when you press a button when you touch the screen, you get
A
feedback
little
from the
bounce.
screen. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The feels that gives you the impression that you're actually pressing a button
Mhm.
versus actually touching the screen. So they're bringing that to the keyboard for iOS 16. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah. So that is our take on watchOS 9.